let me know. Thank you. Okay, so we start our today's session and let's get into the revision or playback that what are the things we have done. So we started the session with for the very first domain, that is prepare the data. And in this, we are having the first topic, which is get data from data sources, right? So I already told you in the last sessions also that why this topic is so important. Because if you are doing any visualization, if you are doing any analysis or anything, right, in the analytics or analysis, you need your data, right? Without that data, you are not able to do anything. Okay, so that's why this part is so important, that from where you are getting your data and what are the sources from where you are getting your data and how to connect those data sources with Power BI, right? So in that way, we covered few things into it, where we have seen that according to PL 300, what are the things that need to be clarified to the candidates who are participating in that exam. So it contains these 5 topics. That is in 1.1 first domain, first topic. It contains these 5 things into it. So we already seen the first part, that is to identify and connect to a data source, right? And you, that's you already understood that yes, these are the things and these are the data sources through which you can connect your Power BI. And you also explored that there are a lot of options in Power BI through which you can connect your data very easily, right? And I hope you done some practice also with it, that tried a lot of different data sources and connecting your data with it, right? So there are a lot of options on online platform also from where you can get the data directly, because it have a strong feature to grab the data directly from the web, right? So in today's session, we will see that how to change the data source settings. Okay, suppose you have connected your data source with Power BI. Later on, you need to change its settings, right? We will go through Power BI platform also and get understand what are these settings. So basically, it includes your credentials, like you connected with any server and you realize that okay, uh, I changed my server settings due to some privacies, and just after some time you have a habit of changing your passwords. So now that particular data source which you connected from your servers will not access that data because you've changed the password over there, right? So you need to update it in on the Power BI platform also, right? And what will be the privacy levels? Okay, we will explore this part also. Privacy levels basically deals like either your data you want to be public, either you want to share it in your team only, or you are working remotely, only you. Okay, so that will be a private level, private organizational level, team level, and a public level. So these are the different levels. We will go through these while we are going into the practical of Power BI now. Okay, and as well as see data source locations also you can update. Say for the initial time you uploaded your data from your desktop, or say from the C drive you uploaded it. Now your data is shifted on the another location, right? So you need to update that data source location, that okay, now my data is on another place, I need to connect it from that place. So these facilities are available in Power BI, that you can handle it and you can reconnect your data accordingly, right? So this particular topic is today's part. Okay, let's get into it and search it. So this is not a so big topic, but having a very importance in practical approaches of Power BI. Okay, get data from data sources is look like very easy and very short things that okay, these are very simple, we can do it very easily. But sometime when you fail to connect your data, I will show you some practical examples also, that we think that okay, anything we can connect from the web, like, right? But once you try it, then you realize that oh, this is not possible that to connect this particular data source directly. I need to go for some settings or changing some credentials, need to set some privacy levels and all those things. So at that time you realize how important these things to be get into your skills, because once your data is in Power BI, so you are the king or the queen, right? Because you can do anything with that data. But the main challenge is to connect your data into the Power BI. That's why it is the most important thing. Okay. Now let's see what are the things that we can do into it and how to change the data source settings. Okay. So last time we have seen in identify and connect to a data source that we connected with the Excel workbooks, we connected with the SQL, Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, later on in the practices, I will show you more options of connecting data sources. Like this time we connected SQL Server. Next time, maybe we will connect with the Oracle, maybe with the MySQL, PostgreSQL, all options we will avail, right? Then we connected with the CSV files also. And later on, as we do practice, I already told you that we will connect with the several data sources also. That time I will show you with the text function also. From the web, we use this URL, right? This is very open source URL. Okay. So this is OData from where we connected our web. Okay. Same thing we can use with this OData feed also, right? So that's the services we used, right? And with the web, we used Amazon services also, Amazon platform, and one or two platforms also we tried to connect over there, right? You can try any website, that what are the issues you will face while connecting with those websites. Okay, how to get a proper data, and what will be the proper URL that you can use to get your data, right? Now let's move on to today's session and today's topic, that is 1.1.2 of first domain. In this, change data source settings including credentials, privacy levels, and data source locations. Okay, in this you will find that you have data source settings over here. Okay, it's just a rough look. We will do it all on Power BI directly, so don't worry about that, that I am just showing the screenshots. Okay, so after going into it, we have these kind of options with us, that is data source settings. This is the only platform where we are going today. Okay, and search different options, that is first is data source in current files and the global permissions, right? Change the source, export PDIDs, editing the permissions, what is this PBIDs, to clear the permissions, that all these permissions you can cancel and relocate it. Okay, so these are the things that we need to get into it, right? And just a glimpse for global permission also. In it, whatever you already connected will show over here. Okay, so try different things that will be coming over here. Okay, so we just connected with the MySQL once. Okay, and I connected with this one, where it is gone, MySQL server, that is SQL Express. This I shown you. connected with SQL Express servers. So it is already into my permissions, right? So that's the window in which our main task is to perform today. Okay, so that will be the upcoming sessions that we will get into and let you know that how to do it. Right now, let's get into Power BI and learn it in depth. Okay, let me share my screen again. Screen, that is this one. Right. So here you have connected a lot of data sources here. Yesterday, yesterday we have seen, day after before we have seen that we have connected some files from our remote system, our on data sources, our local data sources, right? We connected from web mails also, and we have these options with us where we used a lot of things like Excel file we have imported, like from the file section we have done this. From online services we use web services, right? From other sources we have also used web and OData feed, right? Later on we will connect the Python source also and Spark source also, Hadoop along with that also we will work on it. That will be in a big data dealing part. Okay, so here we used a lot of things. So now let's see how to edit these connections and how to import these connections. And before going into it, let me share you the link of the website for OData connections. So you will, that will be better. Just a second. So that is services, not this one. That's the link from where you can connect a lot of data sources with you. Okay. So let me explore for Amazon again, and we will import some more information from it, right? So let's see what are the today's deals. Okay, I need to explore today's deal. What are the percent discount they are giving and what are the other things into it, right? So let me try. I am not confirm also that will it work or not. Let's check it. Is this URL working with it or not? Just hold on for a minute. Yes, it worked. Navigator will open and it explores all the all the tables or all the data that is working over here, right? So now let's check what is in table number 1. It have column 1 which shows up to 80% of how much off it is offering, right? So these are the things. And column 3 is the same as of this, and this column are not useful so much. So this is the particular table. This is the web view also. It shows you that from where it is getting your data. Okay. And for table number 4, it is also not so useful. Table number 5, it is having very few informations. So no practical data is coming over here. We just come to know that how much a discount they are offering, right? You can explore more into it, and you can say just 1,000 to 2,000, right? Here also prices are not shown. Lighting deals. Let me get some data. How much claimed? Yes, that's also an important thing. Let's check. Will it import here? So cancel it. Because why I'm getting this data? Because that will be impacted into your particular permissions to grab this data, right? So you need to change the permissions. You need to change the locations and all those things. Okay. Let me share this link to you in chat also, so you can use it directly. Okay. Let's check what is the information in it in table 2. See, now here we can have many things to go with, like deal price. Column 2 shows the price value, right? Column 1 gives you deal price. Column 3 shows you the MRP, or column 4 also shows you the MRP, and column 5 shows you MRP plus how much off is over there. So you can calculate very easily, right? It is useful table. We can insert it. And table number 3, what says total discount? You have 75% deal over on it, right? Both Rockers 300 wireless in earphone. So that's the deal. Here you have multiple things to do with it, right? So drop your table number 2, select the table number 3. Okay, this is already covered. This is we don't need. Table number 6 don't need. Okay, 3 is done. Web view, you can see on it that this is the page from where you are getting your data. Okay, table number 3. We get into the transform data. In transform data, we can change the type. Okay, so let's say this is the same column, right click on it, and you can remove it. Remove deal, we don't want to get into it. So remove this one also. Deals, we don't need, remove this one. Keep it with you. Deal price, just say, rename this one, say deal price. Right? Now, we don't need this column also, right? So remove this one. So this is your MRP, right? Do we have MRP in separate? Yes, over here. So rename it as a MRP, right? Now you can remove this one. Remove this one, right? In this one, you can say discounts, right? You can split this data, but later on we will go through that, right? So total claim, total claimed, right? So see how your my Power BI changing the data type. So you can say a product name, right? Discounted price are over here, so I don't think we need this one, right? Because we have MRP and all these things over there. So just change it as a discounts, right? Now we have good thing with us, a good data is with us. So you can replace this off under like these things with you. Okay, so this table is something like we don't need, just leave it. And after doing all these things, get to the close and apply. When you click on it, it will be applied to your table. It is loading. Now this is here is your table. Deal prices you have, right? And what are the discounts you also have? What are the MRPs you have? So you need to correct it according to your requirements. So left that one because that's not our point to recognize today. Now we have the things with us. We have 3 data sources differently connected over here, and I don't know what are those sources. Okay, first of all, I need to know what are the sources from where my data is connected right now. what I will do, I will get in the file section. Okay, in file section, I will click here. I will find that options and settings that I just shown you into the slide also. Click over there. You will find a data source settings, right? So in this data source setting, you can easily uh, see that what are the sources in data source in current file. It shows you that what are the sources from where your data is connected, right? So how easy it is to recognize that, okay, from this source I have my data, right? From Amazon web I have my data, right? From a local drive also I have my data. So when you directly click on it, right click on it, you will find the options: change source, edit permission, clear permission, copy path to clipboard if you want to use it anywhere else. All right. Now explore the options that are just below this pop-up window. Then we will move on to the global permissions also. Say this is the source from where I have my data, right? Let me copy it to somewhere else also. This is my Excel file. This is my Excel file. Just copy it and I will paste it on my desktop, right? So now I need to change the location of my data. So change source. Click on change source. It will show you that from where you want your uh, source to be changed. So you can directly browse and say from the desktop, I have the new location, open it. Now it is from the new source. Okay. And what will be the new file that you need to import, right? Because it is from some similar formats of files it will show you. Okay. Yes, you say I need to update my this data and it is now in a JSON file or in a CSV file or it is in a text file. So directly you can change the file formats also, right? And after changing it, you can click on browse and your data source is changed. Okay. Now let's see what is in advanced option also, right? If you say this is my file path, okay, and if you say just add one more into it, okay, so what are the more sources from the local drive you want to add over here? Okay, that's what you can add directly from here, right? So there will be some interconnections with these sources also, right? You have to copy the link and then paste over here from the location, the path that is over there, right? So just that this is just in advance of Excel workbooks. So click on OK, your source is changed, right? Now you are able to access that particular source easily, right? Now the second one, this is your web URL, right? So if you want to change the source, the same thing that you need to update the URL, right? In advanced mode also, you can update that thing also. And you can include open type columns that are usually text formats. Okay, so there is no much difference in between changing the URL and changing the local drive path. Okay, I just don't want to change this particular right now. So back to the basic and I click on OK. From Amazon also, you can't change this because it's a URL, and if you need to change it, you need to update the data again, because this data is fetched from some URL and that is a live data. Okay, whatever at that moment the data is over there, that is fetched to your system, right? So now when you are need to change the source, you are not able to do that. You need to import a new URL if you need that, right? But you can edit the permissions and clear the permissions, right? Now let's see what is in export PBI. So when you click on export PBI, it saves your file as a Power BI data source file. This is right. So this is your P, PBIDS direct files. So let me save it on desktop. My file name is this one. Okay. So I can directly use this file as a data source file, right? So this is how you can save the files for your future perspectives. Okay. And you can share these files to anyone and they can use the same source. Okay. Same data on their system also, right? What is it? Apply changes. Yes, I need apply changes, right? In edit permissions. So there is anonymous permission over here, right? So you don't need to change it. And then even if you want to change this particular location, you can add it on it. It will promote you to the access web content. See, basically where it needed, that suppose you are getting your data from your website, your own website that contains your admin logins, right? So that time you can say, I need a web API key to connect with it, right? Like your payment gateways and other resources. You have an organizational account on this website, then you can directly sign in from here. On Windows login credentials also, you can connect through it, right? Why these are used? You say that, sir, I'm getting this data directly, then why I need to log in with my Windows? See, it authenticates your presence, right? You are dealing with the data. And if someone is sharing you the credentials, so it means that you can access the data from their website for that purpose, that no one else can access that website or that kind of data which is available after your logins, right? Like Google Analytics, you can connect directly, but using URLs also you can connect through it, right? And on websites, I have my admin portals, right? Admin controls where I have all my data collected all together. So I need to connect that data sources directly to it, right? So at that time, I need these logins, these basic logins like user name, password, anonymous, those who are uh, open to get this data, you can just use for anonymous. Okay, so just save it. If you will delete this, like this one, delete. Okay, it says all of the permissions for this entry will be deleted. This entry will be automatically removed from the global permissions list. Do you want to continue? So it will not appear in the your permissions. So next time when you need to insert into it, it will ask you again all type of permissions. So let's show you what it will show. So this type in global permissions also it will not there, right? Clear permissions, it means it will delete all these login sources. Okay, so let's clear the permission. This one, delete, right? So and this one, you can say clear permission, delete. Okay, Amazon, clear permission, delete. These data sources don't have permission now, right? And now let's apply. Okay, now let's again grab this data from Amazon and show you what will happen when you remove the permissions, right? Paste over here, click on OK. It will again ask you for the permissions, that what type of permissions you need over here. Your login credentials, your access permissions, again it will ask you, right? Similarly, as you log out from your systems, log out from your mails, in same way, if you will remove the permissions, it will again ask you for the permissions to log in and to connect. Okay, so whenever I will connect it, it will give me a data from it, right? So the same navigator will open here, and I do have the table number 2, 3, same. That's table number 2 now. Okay, the things which are in table number 2 right now here. So I don't need this data right now. Okay, so again, get back to the options and data sources here. So now explore the data which is in global permissions, right? What is this option says? These are the places from where you are sharing the data. These are the outside so places where from where you are getting your data. See, two things are here: services.odata.org. This is the same from the services, this one. Okay, and Amazon we already connected. Netflix we yesterday tried, and with MySQL I connect my system, that is the another server. This is my Microsoft SQL servers from which I am connecting. Okay, so once if you connected your Power BI with some outsourcing data sources, that time it asks you for the permissions that I just shown you, that if you want to edit the permission, it will ask you that which data type, which Microsoft account, if you want that SQL Express directly connecting. So if you will sign in with Microsoft account, it will give you more access, even for Azure also, right? If with Windows, you want your access or what, right? So these kind of permissions it asks. When to edit permissions, these are the permissions that we are going into, right? Now you can export this also, that okay, I need this particular thing to be saved in my file and I will share it to someone else. So once they will get this particular source, uh, use this particular source directly, then they don't need to move into it. Okay, so edit permissions, second option we have. So when we click edit permission, this type of pop-up window is open there. Here you have the credentials that we are talking about, the credentials, encryptions, permission level, these three things we were talking about, right? So the credentials, login credentials you have, that different data sources have their different login credentials and expressions, right? You can delete the credentials also directly from here. Deleting it means you are deleting the login credentials, how you are permitted from this particular data source. So next time when you need to connect with it, it will ask you that through which permission credentials you want to log in, anonymous, Windows, like that. Okay. Encrypting connections, it means you are giving some password and all those things when someone access it, right? Privacy level, say none, no privacy is there. Okay, anyone can access this data source. If once I will share the link to anyone from export Power BI data source, PBIDS, that is Power BI data source. So if the privacy level is none, anyone can access from that. If my privacy level is public, that is someone who have some login credentials, or you can say someone you are sharing your data sources file, that person can access it. Right? Organizational, it means it need organizational login credentials to access this data. Okay, and you have to decide that, right? Last, private, no one can view it, right? So native database queries, so you have to describe it. later on, there will be a complete session for native database queries also. Okay, so like this. So you can see for local SQL, edit permissions. When you add it, you have three options, right? For web URL, when you get into the edit permission, you have two options only, because these are the URL only. You can't permit it to access someone. This is outsourcing websites. So just you can edit. You have to log in with web URLs. These are web URLs. That's why these have this different options with you, right? And one more thing, that is your MySQL. So edit permission, you have all these things with you. It is by default having the encrypt connections, but it needs my login IDs for it. Okay, so this is how you change the complete login credentials and connect with your different data sources, right? So the thing that we have seen is the data source settings, right? What are these data source settings? How you can change the credentials and how to update it. What are the privacy levels, right? And how you can change the data source locations into it, right? That's it for today. That's a small session, but having a very importance in data sourcing.